I want to tell you a secret. I have a strange fascination with survival crafting games. My wish list is chocked full of them. When it comes to Icarus, does the game have what it takes, or is it so grindy and unfulfilling that it gets voted off the island? Watch on and find out. My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. The forest was my first exposure to the survival crafting genre. There's this one dude, Ninsha, who I could maybe call a friend, but that might be pushing it. We played that game for practically 12 hours straight. It was new and different and weird, but the lack of incremental objectives made it strange, and the gut punch we took when Ninsha died underwater and we couldn't fetch his gear really broke us. So after about 16 hours together, we quit. So when I tell you that I have 29 hours in Icarus by RocketWerkz and a fair bit of that by myself, you can probably tell that this game is pretty good. The primary thing that kept me going for so long in Icarus is that one of the modes involves clear missions with objectives. You are sent down to the planet's surface with basically nothing but your hands, and you have to achieve some goal, like collecting a bunch of cooked meat. There are animals to both hunt and protect yourself from. The environment plays a role in your status, and it really does check all the survival boxes that you expect. Now, don't get me wrong, there's also that relatively open-ended mode where you just go as long as you can and keep building more and more complex supply chains of stuff. And that's entertaining for a minute, but the reality is that the fun in this one, for me at least, was playing with someone else and working together to achieve a goal. The other interesting thing about Icarus is that it has RPG-like elements to it. As you play, your character gains XP, which then provides various points to use to unlock crafting recipes as well as certain stat upgrades. Some stat upgrades apply all the time, but others only apply when you're playing solo. A lot of the stat upgrades provide massive quality of life improvements. There's one that causes you to pick up wood as you chop it, which might sound banal, but is actually a total time saver. There can be a bit of a grind when you are trying to collect some of the metals and other rock-type ores in the game, both because your tools suck initially, but also because they are heavy, and you may have to travel a great distance to bring those supplies back to your base. But when you kill the cave serpents and mine that ore so that you can bring it back to your hut on the water, so that you can turn the ore into ingots and then into nails so that you can build that clothing station, so that you can finally make your fur armor because your next mission objective is the snowy parts, and you don't want to get hypothermia? Yeah, that's fulfilling, weirdly. As a part of achieving the mission objectives, you can earn money, which can be used to unlock enhanced equipment from the home base, so to speak. In the mission mode, there are also exotic materials that can be collected and returned to the base, which count as a different type of currency. Ultimately, these two forms of currency allow you to get much better equipment than you could ever fabricate until the very late game. You might scoff at a fancy pickaxe, but when it is several 100% more durable than anything you can craft at present, it's worth it. One semi-unique aspect of Icarus compared to other survival games is that it takes place in a semi-terraformed world that doesn't really have oxygen. So, while all of the land creatures around you, like deer and polar bears, seem to do just fine without masks on, managing your oxygen levels is a critical component of survival. There are special rocks that you collect that can go into a space in your suit to turn into oxygen. Later, you can build machines that will fill gas bags that you can put in your suit to maintain your oxygen levels. Food and water are, unsurprisingly, also critical to manage, but what I did find interesting was the system of buffs and debuffs related to food. For example, bacon provides a mega stat buff, and the combination of different food items can enhance your strength, reduce your water consumption rate, or provide other benefits. Falling or fighting creatures can cause injuries of varying levels, and there are infections and other illnesses to contend with. They're usually not fatal, but the debuffs can be agonizing to deal with for a long time. Crafting the right remedy, assuming you have the recipe, can turn 10 minutes of awful into a much less awful experience. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. don't forget to share with your friends. Agree with me? Disagree with me? Or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. Want to try this game yourself? Check out my humble affiliate link below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. When it comes to survival crafting, Icarus definitely did not disappoint. The graphics can be a bit challenging for your PC if you're trying to run 4K with full eye candy, but the beauty you get from being able to do so is really pleasurable. Walking down into the valley back to your house with a carcass on your shoulders as the sun sets, getting ready to cook some meat and grind bones to epoxy, it's beautiful. On my trademarked 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, in a survival game you better not forget to eat because you'll die. But at least you can run back to your corpse to get stuff from it. And you don't have to worry about drowning because you're in a spacesuit, you idiot. Just don't run out of oxygen rocks. Because this game, rocks. Yeah.